Welcome to Indianapolis, Indiana, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and the season finale for TC America, powered by the Skip Barber Racing School. I'm Ryan Marine. Calvin Fish is alongside it. Amanda Busick is down in the pits for us. Cars already on track. It's a jam-packed morning of racing here at IMS. And we're on the second formation lap now, ahead of the final race of the TC America season, with championships up for grabs in multiple classes.
Wow, it sets up beautifully. TCX is done and dusted. Colin Garrett, who'll start from the front row here today, got that seal at the last round of the championship. But in TC and TCA, we have a pair of drivers in both championships separated by 6 points. The point swing first to second is 7. Championship is in their control.
There you see the TCX field on pole. Yoshihara, Colin Garrett on the outside, Jackson Lee and Kenny Schmid, the teammates in row 2, Gleason and Oust teammates in row 3, and Chris DeFreitas out back. Then in the TC ranks, Christian Pericarpi, hometown kid, he starts on pole. Jeff Rika going for the title will start second. Clay Williams also fighting for that championship third. Celso Neto in fourth. Then it's Burton and Valdez and Sally McNulty out back of the TC field. Spencer Bucknam, he's in a tight title fight. Will Lambros, who won by 1/1000th of a second yesterday, he starts second. Xiao Yiche and PJ Gronke in row 2. Mario Biundo and Devin Anderson in row 3. Cooper Broll and Matty Lemke in row 4. Bruce Marine and Ruben Iglesias Jr. in the back row of the grid. Cold morning here, Calvin. Temperatures not even to 50 degrees, and getting these cars ready to go for the start of the race. Apologies, that was just the first formation lap. This is the second. But these are important formation laps here, getting ready on a cold morning in Indy.
Yeah, it's very brisk out there right now, so track temperature is not really getting up there just yet. So these 2 laps are really important to prep the tires. But one thing that's significant when we talk about these championship battles in TC, Clay Williams has a 6-point lead over Jeff Ricker, who's coming off that big win here earlier this weekend. Spencer Bucknam, a 6-point lead over Devin Anderson. For Devin Anderson, he missed a driver's meeting earlier this weekend and suffers a 5-place grid penalty. So that is massive in terms of his threat for the championship here today.
Well, we talked about that close finish in TCA yesterday. Spencer Bucknam came out 1/1000th of a second shy in that battle with Will Lambros. This is ultimately the photo that determined the winner of the race. Unbelievable. The Skip Barber Racing School team, Will Lambros, congratulations. One of the closest finishes you will ever see.
Yeah, that's crazy. And such a point swing. You'd had a really, well, not call it healthy, but 13-point lead coming into today instead of just the 6 points. So that is massive difference. But Devin Anderson, he's got a fast race car. He would have started this race from the pole, but because he missed that meeting, he starts back in P6. So he has a lot of work to do in that 22 machine.
Yeah, but he raced his way forward yesterday. Remember, he had some misfortune early, dropped to the back of the TCA field, still found himself there in contention to maximize his day. It can be done, and Devin Anderson certainly has the talent. The Tech Sport team has the acumen to help him along.
We'll give the boy a break. He has a few other roles other than just driving a race car. He's just not sipping coffee and figuring out when he needs to be at the next meeting. He has a lot of roles that he plays on that race team.
He does indeed, but right now he's got the helmet on and he's ready to go for a championship. Here we go, 3 classes. Each will get its own green flag. On the overall Rova pole position, Dai Yoshihara, who picked up his 2nd win of the season yesterday. He'll have champion-elect Colin Garrett starting to his outside. Honda and BMW on the front row. A pair of teammates in the 2nd row that had it coming together yesterday with Jackson Lee and Kenny Schmid. There's the green flag as the field goes through the VP acceleration zone. Looks like Colin Garrett got a pretty good run on the outside. Meanwhile, in TC, Christian Pericarpi from the pole starting to accelerate away. It's a new gearbox for Clay Williams after a failure yesterday. He's off and running. Then in TCA, looks like a pretty good start there for Bucknam. They fan out 3 wide. PJ Gronke right in the middle of it. But now we check in on TC before panning back to the TCA start, roaring towards turn 1. Big move up the inside. Xiao Yiche bidding for the lead. And he gets up on that curb. Ultimately, they do make it work. He'll settle in second. I believe that is Iglesias. Or
Mario
Biundo, excuse me, yep. Oh, that's Pericarpi and Rika, both with issues.
Where is Clay Williams? Did he escape? Damage to the left front of Jeff Rica.
That could doom his championship because Williams does continue to run. Definitely damage at the back of that car. The pole sitter Pericarpi also involved.
Left front is tagged, rear bumper is tagged. Let's see how this one evolved. Just craziness here on the opening lap.
Oh, Pericarpi got sideways in front of the field and Rica had nowhere to go.
Oh, can you believe it? The consequences are that his teammate Clay Williams scoots through there and has the points gap as they run to win the championship.
Oh, Christian will be so disappointed. Had a great run yesterday, fighting with Rica to the end. Just got it a little bit wrong. Easy to do in these cold temperatures.
Oh, it is so cold out there right now. Just very little temperature. You're not allowed to do any tire warming prior to the start here with these race cars. So it's all about generating that on those formation laps for Jeff Rica. Is the car healthy? We can see it's got some bodywork damage. It's not 100%, but does he have any suspension issues as well?
In the meantime, TCX, the battle continues to rage. It's Garrett fighting with Schmid.
Inside. That's turn 4, gets it done. Yoshihara trying to take advantage here side by side. It's going to be tough to coexist through the chicane.
Smart move by Yoshihara to slot back in line.
Comes Jackson Lee with a big run. 4th place car, that gray machine, AO Racing. Matty Oust, the orange machine, looks to the inside, down into the brake zone.
Oust late on the brakes, able to woe it up. Gets to the flank of Jackson Lee, but can't complete the pass. Jackson fighting back now as the track comes back to him in this series of switchbacks. Left, right, left, right.
Well, this racetrack is so cool for these TCA machines.
Clay Williams to the lead in TC. He's driven around Valdez, Burton. It might actually be just for second, excuse me. Looks like Celso Neto continues to lead, so he just passed Burton for P2.
Importantly, Rica still has pace, it looks like, in the backdrop. I can see him still running pretty healthily. What drama on the opening lap with championships on the line.
That is Celso Neto. He's got some scars on that race car, too.
See on the scoreboard, to the screen left, Anderson has made that move through the field, got up to P3 early. That's significant.
As they run, Clay Williams with an 11-point advantage over Jeff Rica. But that is a brand new transmission in that car. It failed with 2 laps to go yesterday. They did get 1 hardship lap in this morning. Oh, Valdez really late on the brakes. Somehow he makes that work.
That was wild. It didn't look good for a while there, but he managed to get it wound down and eat up that curb to slow him down enough. Looks like Rica car is healthy, but I tell you, when he gets up to speed down the front straightaway here, it's like a parachute with that bodywork at the end. That rear bumper is just kind of flaring out and will really be slowing him down.
The pass from Valdez there was for 3rd. He finished 3rd yesterday. Great podium result for Chris. He was thrilled to be on the podium at IMS, and to your point, yeah, that is like dropping an anchor, and despite that, he is lapping considerably quicker than the cars ahead of him.
Yeah, you got to wonder what sort of straightaway speed. I'll be curious to see when he gets alongside these other competitors how much air he's grabbing with that rear bumper kind of splayed out like that.
We've got Devin Anderson trying to charge forward. They're starting back a couple of rows.
Completely sideways, big flick there. Seesawing through that sector there, and Anderson is up on the wheel, on the attack. Had that 5 grid spot penalty. He's made short work of that. He's got to get around Lambros and then go after Bucknam. It's basically whichever one of those 2 cars wins this race, that would be enough with a 7-point swing.
That's right. You win this race, you are the champion. It's as simple as that for Devin Anderson. There are other paths to it, but that's the most clear-cut one. That's the one that he can control.
Lambros was great here. What a thrilling race we had between the 2 Hondas here a couple of days ago. Seems like he's got straightaway speed over Anderson, certainly through the mid part. Bucknam looking comfortable up front, managing things. This will allow him to really cut through these corners on the most effective line, maximize his lap time.
Rica has caught this traffic. The next car in front of him is his teammate, Sally McNulty. And you can see her hand out the window. She's not going to fight. Pointing her team boss right on by. He's got a championship to go win.
So lucky that he didn't really appear to have suffered any suspension damage. Just kind of clipped that left front when he got hooked up there with, kind of locked horns there with Perakaki completely sideways through turn 4. Compression here. Lambros is closer to Bucknam. Anderson is right there with him. Wow, this is going to be a pressure-packed final 30 minutes or so for Spencer Bucknam, similar to what we saw with Jason Bell just a few moments ago in wrapping up the GT America GT4 Championship.
It's been a great end to the season for Will Lambros. He's found some pace, started challenging consistently for race wins. It was not a surprise to see him there, but here comes Anderson. He's got so much on the line. Lambros not fighting for a championship right now. We have some out-of-class traffic making its way through.
It's one of those corners where you really need to swing out wide to set it up, and it just opens up the door down the inside. Looks so inviting. Anderson was not able to make it stick, and just seems like he's struggling a little bit down these straightaways compared to the Hondas in front of him.
That was Ruben Iglesias coming through with, after some early race misfortune, he's a bit out of order. In the meantime, we keep an eye on the progress of Jeff Rica. Amanda, what are you hearing?
Well, you see the bumper there hanging off of the back, and talking to the team, Jeff Rica was relaying to his team that even prior to the start of this race that Christian Pericarpi was getting into the back of the right and left hand of the bumper and at the start. So Jeff Rica racing with that kind of frustration as well as this race started.
Channeling that frustration into some aggression. That move was high commitment, Calvin. I think we're going to get another look at it here. Jeremiah Burton wise to give way, and now he finds himself in a battle of his own. But look at this move.
Yeah, he gets down the inside and thought about going for 2 of them. Could see that Valdez was going to swing across there to completely climb over that inside curb there. That's one of the curbs you really don't want to get on. There's one at turn 1, one at 7, one at turn 12 that are a lot bigger than some of the other relatively flat curbings through this circuit.
The pole sitter, Christian Pericarpi, involved in that incident there with Jeff Rica out of the race and with Amanda.
Yeah, and Ryan, and adding to the story, Christian, your perspective of the start?
Yeah, you're allowed to move over however far you want when you're the pole sitter. He didn't want to allow me, clobbered me into the 13, threw the tire off the rim, and unfortunately he got collected in his own mess, right? I'm leading, the tire comes off the bead, I have no control, right? We go into the grass, I'm trying to steer, and he gets collected, right? I don't want to race like that. I didn't mean to hit him. I'm trying to move over where I need to be, where I want to be for my start, and he didn't want to allow me. So, shows you what happens here, right? There's a lot on the line, I get it. There's a lot of emotions, but I don't want to race like that. I don't want to destroy my own car. I can't even finish the race. I made it 4 laps, so I know it's under review. Hopefully they make the right decision. So hopefully Clay can do good, and that's about it.
Your thoughts there, Cal?
Well, I didn't see the initial incident, so that kind of set up here. So Pericarpi's trying to basically go to the middle. He's kind of, Rick is probably feeling that he's squeezing him out there a little bit. Typically they come off that corner a little bit more to the right. Well, Christian is saying he's got the right to determine where he wants to place the pole-sitting car. They end up touching right there. That obviously pulls the tire off the bead, and when they get down into turn 4, he's completely sideways on 3 wheels. And ironically, Jeff Rica gets wrapped up in it.
A lot to sift through, but this battle has been unrelenting at the front of the TCX field. Dai Yoshihara is through. Great stuff side by side with Colin Garrett. And the Japanese driver with such an extensive drifting background, able to drive that Honda Civic up to the lead.
Well, Yoshihara had a massive advantage over the field in qualifying for the first race here this weekend, a clear second on the field, but in race trim, it was just a few hundred separating them, and we're seeing that in race 2 here today.
Anderson is through on Lambros, so
Here
it's
we
now
go.
a battle royale for the win, and with it, the championship in TCA.
Winner takes all.
Yep, Bucknam's got it. Anderson, though, with one pass, could take it away. 28 minutes to settle this title fight.
You couldn't script that TC battle in your wildest dreams, that the teammate to the championship leader gets involved with Ricker and the consequences afterwards.
I think the points there are not factoring in Anderson getting up to second. It should be a pass here would put Anderson in a position to win the title. Here is Rika. Done a great job to race his way up to third. Williams next in line.
Yeah, getting back to that TCA point situation, it should be a 13-point swing between the two drivers right now. It's a 14-point delta by switching positions. So Bucknam would lose 7 of that total, and then Devin Anderson would gain 7. So it should be 13-point delta as they run.
Point taken. This has got Rika up to third. Again, same spot on the track, very aggressive, late on the brakes around Chris Valdez. Rika's been quick.
He's quick, but Celso Neto is leading, and he needs the big points. He needs that big swing. He's got to gain 6 points on Clayton Williams, and he's got to get to Clayton Williams. Then he's got to chase after the leader, because the delta between second and third is not going to be enough should he get around Williams, who's got that gap as you're looking at it right there. That is second. This is third place now runner Jeff Rika.
9 seconds is the gap from the class leader Celso Neto back to Rika.
Reflecting back on the interview with Christian Pericarpi, I mean, obviously very emotional. He kept it together nicely in terms of laying it out for us, but you got to think about Jeff Rika. He's in a championship battle. He's got the teammate to the championship leader alongside him. He's probably feeling that Pericarpi's leaning on him a little bit. Doesn't want to get too far out in the gray and in the dust and up by that wall for the start. So I can see both drivers' perspective on that one.
Williams 9 points to the good. Keep in mind, Rika did not race at Circuit of the Americas. He was taking part in the 24 hours of the Nürburgring. And if it weren't for that skipped round.
That was huge in the points.
That's right.
Basically lost 50 points that weekend because Clayton went and swept it. There was talk about Jeff Rika drafting in one of the Hyundai factory drivers. I think Mark Wilkins' name was mentioned at one point. They'd have to reflect after that weekend. Maybe they should have done that. Otherwise, he could have been leading that championship if Mark was able to steal a few points away from Williams that weekend.
Exactly. Here's Yoshihara, the overall leader, making his way through some TCA traffic. Cooper Brohl was the Skip Arbor Racing School driver that he just went past. Colin Garrett following him through.
Like Yoshihara has massive pace. His best lap of the day is a 1.5 seconds better than Colin Garrett. So when he lays one down, the speed is there, just like we saw in qualifying here earlier in this week.
Final race for this TCX version of this Honda Civic. There's a new Acura TCX car coming next year. It's on display here in the Midway at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and it has been at many races all throughout the season. This could get interesting here before the end of the race. 3rd, 4th, and 5th in TCX. Matty Oust, Kenny Schmid, and the newcomer, the rookie, Jackson Lee from nearby Avon, Indiana.
Yeah, Jackson Lee, very impressive here on his debut in this form of competition. Had a great battle going here a couple of days ago. Unfortunately, got involved with his teammate Kenny Schmid down in the brake zone for turn 7, which is this upcoming corner, but nonetheless settled into a fierce championship very nicely here. Very impressive.
Coming up on more TCA traffic.
Matty Oust, she has been the sensation of this season. Grabbed those victories and had that big hit at Road America. I think it kind of knocked her off her stride a little bit. Talking to the team, they said, no, she seems fine, but it seemed a little bit more subdued since that point in the season, but she's bounced back nicely here, currently running in P3.
Young lady with a bright future ahead of her, whether it's in racing or whatever she chooses to do. A student now at TCU. Just started there this fall. Bruce Marine staying out of the way there as the TCX fight comes through, or at least trying to. Not an easy spot on the track to just disappear here with the faster cars coming through.
Jackson Lee now right in the wheel tracks of his teammate as Devin Anderson continues to hound our leader here, Spencer Bucknam. This is the battle for the TCA win and the championship.
Just think about it. That photo finish yesterday, Bucknam loses by 1/1000th of a second. That means instead of scoring 25 points yesterday, he scored 18 by just that tiny margin, by that photo finish. It would be a completely different equation here today had that gone the other way.
Yeah, very different dynamic.
We talk about racing as a game of inches. I don't think that even fully explains just how close it was yesterday.
Yeah, and you just have to put it in perspective. It looks like it's a big lead, right, as they run, but just that one position change will flip-flop it.
Still 22 minutes to hang on for young Spencer Bucknam.
He's got the speed there. The Honda seem to have a little edge in straightaway speed here at Indy. But Devin's doing a great job just carving through the infield sector and keeping it tight.
Spencer's father, Jeff, made a couple of Indy 500 starts. His grandfather, Ronnie, made 3. Chance to continue the family legacy of racing at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Looks like Jackson Lee has gotten around Kenny Schmid, or Schmid has gotten around Aust. That's actually what has happened. So now Jackson is next in line, looking to line up the young Texan, Matty Aust.
Schmid's had a strong end to the season.
Here comes Jackson.
Bold move down to the inside. Can he keep it together? Yes, he just does. Matty has to wait on it, but yes, just had enough road to make it stick. Nice move.
Great stuff from the open wheel racer, making his first ever tin top start yesterday. Second one coming right now. You're watching it. Ran partial seasons in the what was known for a long time as the Road to Indy ladder system, USF 2000, USF Pro 2000. Still trying to make his way to Indy cars, going very defensive here. Also working his way through some lap traffic. That's part of the equation too, but just trying to consolidate that position he was able to take away from Matty a few moments ago.
It's like he sat there and was thinking, am I far enough left? Am I far enough left? Am I far enough left? He picked up about 4 pounds of tire rubber there by running offline for that long. He's got to be careful because you suddenly get to the next corner, you got no grip.
Well, in this battle, Jackson certainly has the advantage in track knowledge. He has run a lot of races here in open wheel cars. A lot of testing is done here as well. Ahead of, at the end of one season, ahead of the next in open wheel cars. So he does know his way around this place.
Yes, he really does. And the whole family works really hard. I work with his father, Kevin, on some of the broadcasts for races, and they're very passionate about their sport. But I tell you what, they give a lot back. They really give a lot back to their partners and the supporters that they have with their racing program. So it's a great kid to embrace and support if anyone's out there looking.
Gonna have to fight for it though. Matty Aust brings the battle back to Jackson Lee.
That was really nice move there. And we've seen her have some tremendous racecraft here this season. That was another example of just that.
Side by side through the first couple of corners. Track comes back to Jackson a little bit. He's able to hang on. This is for 4th and 5th in TCX. Impressive for Jackson too. He's not had much seat time in this car, so to have the spatial awareness in a tight battle like that in a car you're not super familiar with, that's worth noting.
It's a great point. Matty says you're not far enough. She sends it in there. That's going to be tough to. Both of them get too deep on the brakes there, kind of baited each other, and Matty goes for a quick spin.
And Adam Gleason, another Hoosier, comes through. He's able to pick up 2 for the price of 1.
That was a Days of Thunder moment there.
Yeah, super cool paint scheme on the car for Adam Gleason. They had to repair that car after a heavy crash in Road America. So we've got a message from race control. Incident between the 78 of Jeff Rica. The 37 of Christian Pericarpi is under review. And when this all started, Cal, before the race even went green, I think we've got a couple different replays to take a look at.
Yeah, here we're setting up. There you see a pretty aggressive move there by Christian Pericarpi back over to the left. Right there, that doesn't jive with what I saw from the first angle we looked at. That was pretty bold there to go back over to the left, and that may have been where he suffered the damage. Right now, he's trying to get more in the middle of the road, which I thought was kind of on a gray area. But right now, as they start to get ready to accelerate, there's a little bit more of a lean over to the left. Right there, there's a little touch. And maybe that was enough to take that tire off the bead, and ultimately you can see it there. Left rear is down, and he's out of control, and Rica locks horns with them and gets a lot of damage to that Hyundai.
And again, that is under review from race control. Jeff Rica continues to run third at the moment, but he's 7 seconds behind Clay Williams, who he's chasing for the championship. And even if he could make that pass, it would not be enough to leapfrog Clay. Celso Neto leading this race, and Celso deserves some credit here. He's been a consistent feature on the podium over the course of this season. He's yet to win, though. This could be the day.
Could be the day, and what a place to do it at. Can't lose sight of the fact that this is a special place to win at Indy. Kiss the yard of bricks. So yeah, these championships we're focused on, but also winning here as we look at this battle for the win and what could be the championship deciding move as well if Devin Anderson can get around young Bucknam.
Just to reset, Bucknam in the 5, the Honda, would win the championship as they run, but if these positions swapped, the championship would go to Devin Anderson in the Tech Sports Subaru.
By 1 point.
By 1 point.
Lambros, he went for it the other day. Spectacular photo finish, literally. And that really changed the dynamic for Spencer coming into the final race day of the season.
A chance to hear more from the Tech Sport team. Amanda Busick is down there.
Well, it was about half a lap ago when Devin and Spencer went by us here at the front stretch, and team owner and mom, Debbie Anderson, said he's getting closer, he's getting closer. You're wearing multiple hats, team owner and mom. How do you process this day?
Well, you know, it's not different for any of the drivers. When one of my drivers is out there doing what they do, I just am absolutely a ball of nerves. I want them to do well. We give them the best car we can possibly give them, and we just want them to be perfect in their drives so that we can have success.
We've seen the Subaru come on late during races that we've been at prior in the season. Do you expect this here today? I know the temperatures are pretty cold this morning, but what are your expectations last couple laps?
The Honda is strong in the cold. We've always traditionally done better in the warm, but you know, Devin's an excellent driver, so I have full faith that whatever happens, it will be his best effort in you know, clinching the championship. You just don't know. It's all up in the air right now, and it's very, very stressful.
And I imagine if that championship does happen, reaction from mom and team owner would be the same.
He's given it a great run. From the third row of the grid, it didn't take him too long to catch back up with Spencer Bucknam. And this is the battle we have watched all year long.
And I'll tell you what, Bucknam has just been super impressive when he has the lead and he's getting attacked. He's got cars around him side by side. He just seems so comfortable with it. He's got Ryan Eversley in his ear once again, coaching him through this scenario for the LA Honda World Team. Ryan's very much part of that racing family there. But stressful times for the family, for the teams, respectively, as Dai Yoshihara continues on his way. Now built up a 6.5 second lead at the front of the field.
And now he is making his way through the TCA leaders. Dai Yoshihara with that lead.
Anderson had a little poke down the inside there in 13.
Yoshihara can be patient here, under no pressure from Colin Garrett. Colin himself under no pressure. He wrapped up the championships quite a while ago.
Right here, first half of the straightaway, seems like the Honda stretches its legs a little bit on the Subaru. Then when you get to the brake zone, looks like Devon takes it in a little bit deeper. Maybe the terminal speed is more, that's tight, thought about it. Bucknam just gives him a little bit of room in case he was going to make a move down the inside. He gets to the inside now. He could be in the inside for turn 4.
Side by side for the lead and potentially for the championship. Anderson saw an opening and he pounced. He is side by side with Bucknam. They lean on each other. This is going to be close. Through the switchback, body parts flying off of the car just like we saw at Sebring 2 weeks ago.
Fantastic. What a piece of racing there between these two young guns. Bucknam holds the inside line here, down into the brake zone for 7.
And don't forget Will Lambros, the winner yesterday. He runs third right there, right behind the lead pairing.
I told you, Bucknam's just comfortable in these scenarios. He doesn't get fazed by it. It's like he embraces it.
Bucknam survived that salvo from Anderson, but does Devon have another barrage that he can launch?
Real ebb and flow here between the two manufacturers in terms of where they pick up speed. Looks like Devon can really close in on the brakes a little bit. Mid-range torque, maybe the Honda has a little bit more. Right through there, and then you'll get onto this straightaway, and he could be feeling the heat from Lambros a little bit as well, so he's got to be looking ahead at Bucknam and watching his rearview mirrors as we see Colin Garrett, I believe, coming through.
And Lambros, part of the Honda family, of course, as is Bucknam. Maybe playing wingman a little bit to Bucknam in his championship bid.
Watch Anderson here, though, on the brakes.
Schmid coming through, and Schmid's been really quick the last few laps. He's actually making some inroads on Garrett, so he'll want to clear this traffic quickly. Could that open up a chance?
It could. It really could. We see this overlap with the multi-class racing really have an effect at times around this course. You're right, Schmid took a half a second out of that gap to Garrett for P2 and TCX.
Schmid able to get by Lambros. Now he lines up the top 2.
Those body pieces still sitting there on the exit of turn 6. They traded paint there on the previous lap.
Hope Spencer didn't need his right side mirror. It's not pointed the right direction anymore. That traffic almost did open the door for Anderson, but Schmid cleared Bucknam just in time that Spencer could get down and close the door.
Yeah, the two main overtaking zones are down into turn 1 and turn 7, so it's that right-hand mirror that you need.
Great rhythms to this part of the track.
Look at the concertina, though. It's like it spreads out and then it closes into the brake zones. Anderson's car is really cutting through these corners really nicely. Car is hooked up. He's had a really solid run. To reflect on that pre-race penalty. Good position drop, and that hasn't phased him, as you suggested. He just do that as a matter of course. He did it here a couple of days ago.
Talked about Tevin Anderson, his many roles with this team, not just a driver, but this is the family business. Tech Sport Racing does a lot of the management of the team. They have a GT4 program running Nissans here this year. 2-car effort in Pirelli GT4 America, plus he drives the truck from track to track. He does a little bit of everything, but he loves this, a chance to race for a win and a title.
This is where he loves these technical sections. His car really gets through there really effectively. Make sure you don't run over your own debris there and cut down a tire. That would be ironic.
Incident between 78 and 37 will be reviewed post-race. That's Pericarpi and Rica. Not sure it's going to have much of an effect ultimately, what is decided at least, on the championship. Clay Williams running solidly in second right now. That would be more than enough to take home the 2023 TC class crown.
Yeah, Neto comfortably out front, but Williams a really comfortable gap over Jeff Rica. Championship in his control right now.
Lambros is closed back in. Only 9.5 minutes remain in the 2023 season. Looks like we've had a change in fourth in TCX. Jackson Lee has been able to get back around Adam Gleason. A pair of Hoosiers fighting here at their home racetrack. Lambros has a run.
Yeah, he's got a run here.
This
May get to the inside, but let's see if Dan Anderson can outbrave him on the brake pedal.
And we've got out-of-class cars to contend with here, too. That's Lee coming through, and he's new to this series. I don't know if he necessarily is super aware of exactly what the championship situation is, who the players are. It's one of the tough things about coming in and joining a championship in the final round.
Yeah, tough here for Devin Anderson. He can't afford to let Bucknam escape.
And in Jackson's defense, too, he's got Gleason right there nipping at his heels, so he's in his own battle. Gleason
Absolutely.
might be a shortcut there. Race control will look at that. If anything is gained, they will make the appropriate call. Here comes Jackson through on Bucknam. Gleason following him. That would have left Bucknam vulnerable there, but Anderson wasn't close enough to capitalize.
No, this is fascinating. And again, we've seen it so often this year, these two boys fighting it out. Lambros sometimes in the mix as well. But they're comfortable being there. They've been doing it week after week. Like they almost embrace these moments where they can go hard at it side by side. Bucknam right now has it under control, but he knows one slip, one bold move by Devin Anderson can turn this championship on its head.
And he knows Devin's capable of it. He got pretty darn close just a few laps ago.
And there was good respect. I mean, going into turn 4, Devin could have just kept the car straight a little bit, leaned on Bucknam and sent him, but he didn't. So I love to see that between these young racers.
Quietly, Celso Neto is having himself a career day, and this would be a bit of redemption for him. He had the race, it appeared, pretty well in hand yesterday. Caught some out-of-class traffic. My understanding is that traffic had an off, got in the grass and rejoined. Rejoined might be a strong word, but was kind of had lost control in the grass and came back onto the track in front of him, leaving him nowhere to go. We didn't get a great look at it, but I talked to some folks who did see some onboards of it, and that took him from the lead to out of the race. So pretty big bounce back, and credit to the Skip Barber School team for repairing this car. It looks absolutely perfect, immaculate.
Yeah, it was pretty wounded. So they raced back-to-back days as well. It's not like they had a gap, so a lot of overnight work to get that done. Here's the 60 machine championship winner-elect if he continues to hold down this P2 in class here today.
But remember, with 2 laps to go yesterday, the transmission went out. That's what kept this championship in doubt into the final race of the season. New transmission went in overnight. It's been running smoothly. Jeff Rico with his wounded car has rallied back to 3rd, but the rally has stalled there.
Yeah, they've been so equal in lap time, so the gap was there, and Clay Williams has just been superb at being consistent here, not making any slips. Rick is digging deep, you know, he's got to be fired up about that argy-bargy there on the formation lap and through the first sector on lap 1.
Now, no matter which way you cut it, it's been an awesome season for Jeff. That brand new Hyundai that they brought this year, brand new model that they produce in-house at Gin Racer. Super impressed with what they've done. I mean, they came out of the gates at Sonoma and blitzed everyone.
Yeah, it's been a really strong year. And just a melting pot. I mean, this championship has really come alive this year, Ryan, I feel, in all 3 classes. Just superb stuff.
Here we find McNulty, Valdez, and Jeremiah Burton running together. This is for 4th, 5th, and 6th in the TC class. Great little scrap here.
It is. And a really strong top 5 online for Sally here. Grab the podium. Here we go. This is tight. Anderson all over Bucknam. Right into his tail. Not hard enough to turn him or anything, but letting him know he's right there once again.
This could get tricky. Chris DeFreitas is in a TCX spec car, but doesn't have the pace of much of the TCX field, quite frankly. Still very early in his racing career. Looks like he has been able to clear these guys, though. I thought maybe that could play a factor.
Look, Anderson working the angles there, just trying to get up high there to cut back down on that turn 13 apex and get a better run, but didn't really gain much, it looked like.
Maddie Oust about to come through. She runs 7th now after her off-track incident 10 minutes or so ago.
Time is winding down for Devin Anderson. He's got to figure out a way. He's got to get bold here if he's going to wrestle his championship win away.
Crown Strike fastest lap of the race to the dominant car of the weekend, Dai Yoshihara. The speed has been there all year long, but only 2 wins to show for it. However, he could close the season with back-to-back wins. In the meantime, Anderson, pushing for all he's worth, had 2 wheels off there on the right-hand side.
Yeah. It's going to be all in right now. Got to send it. Maybe the love affair may be over here in the last 3 minutes. How badly do you want it? What are you prepared to do?
Both of these drivers have spent their lives dreaming of this moment, a chance to race for a championship. They're now just 3 minutes away. One of these 2 will emerge as the TCA champion for 2023.
Anderson's thinking about it. Try to roll speed through there, but Bucknam closed the door on that apex there through turn 10. It is an overtaking opportunity. A lot of curb there on the inside that you could use to try and wrestle your way through. Anderson, that was a bold move. That's probably going to get him out of sync a little bit, maybe lose a little bit of ground. Yes, he does. I think this corner right there, if it's last lap and they come through there a little bit tighter, don't be surprised to see Devin Anderson poke his nose down the inside. We could have a photo finish here again for this one here today.
Team owner and mom, Deb, watching on. Can only imagine her emotions right now. Couple of laps to go. 2 minutes left on the clock. Here
a lot of work to do for
leaders.
Devin Anderson. Look how deep he takes it in the brakes. Can really roll speed through here. Bucknam's car washes out wide, has a little bit more roll in the front end, just doesn't turn quite as sharply as the Subaru behind him.
Anderson stalking. It's been a great year for the Tech Sport team and driver. Remember, Grisham Wagner won a championship for them a year ago. He's moved on to some other racing ventures. And that's left Devin Anderson as the team leader. He and Xiaoyi Che have had some strong results this year, but it's been Devin that has been the workhorse for the team. Meanwhile, Spencer Bucknam.
Ooh, that looked tight.
Yep, drifted a little bit wide. The white flag for Yoshihara, 1 lap to go. Bucknam able to correct any slide he might have experienced as Anderson closes in once again. Just over 1 lap left to decide the TCA championship.
Bucknam's up for the challenge. He knows he's going to get roughed up a little bit, but he's going to be ready. He's got great car control. We've seen that many times this year.
Back down into the infield.
That big swing out, I don't think he can afford to do it on the final lap if Anderson is close, because he's going to send it.
Anderson closing in. He's been gauging this all race long. One last chance to make the pass that will define the 2023 season. The white flag waves for the final time at TC America, powered by the Skip Barber Racing School. And Spencer Bucknam and Devin Anderson, their championship battle comes down to the final lap.
Yeah, Lambro's dropping back a little bit. He's not going to be in a factor here for the win unless these 2 get together. See there, Bucknam runs really wide. He's super wide there through turn 1. Took it in a bit deeper. Front end wouldn't hang on. That's got Devin Anderson right on his tail.
Anderson closes in. He's been close before. He's been alongside through here before. Right now, still single file through the switchback. The best passing zone awaits, though, at the end of this straightaway, at the end of Holman Boulevard. Dai Yoshihara, he also had it off there. This is in turns 12 and 13, coming to take the checkered flag for his 2nd win of the season. Dai Yoshihara, VGRT, 2nd win of the weekend, 3rd win of the season for the Japanese drifting ace. Congratulations to Yoshihara. He sweeps the weekend in Indianapolis. Devin Anderson, though, fighting for the championship with Bucknam, but he's lost a lot of ground. Bucknam has been able to pull the gap, Cal.
I wonder if he had an off there down in turn 7. He's lost a ton of ground here in the final lap.
He laid it all on the line, Calvin, but it wasn't meant to be. If Spencer Bucknam can be clean for 3 more corners, he will win the race and the 2023 TCA Championship. Spencer Bucknam with the mirror flopping in the breeze, body work all disgruntled, all disentangled after a big battle with Devin Anderson, comes to the line. Spencer Bucknam wins at Indianapolis and claims the TC America TCA Championship. The LA Honda World Team elated.
Fantastic year. Congrats to everyone. Here's Devin's mom. She's disappointed, but they shouldn't be disappointed. It was fantastic racing.
And in TC, Celso Neto is a race winner, and Clay Williams is the champion. This is how it happened. He laid it all on the line in turn 7, Calvin. Couldn't quite make the pass stick.
Yeah, and I don't think he got wiped out there. I just think he was so committed down into the brake zone. Had nowhere to go with it. Was ultimately on the outside. Just got into the gray and the marbles and just lost the front end. So looked like Bucknam had made a slight little error there down into the brake zone for turn 1. That tightened everything back up again and gave hope. But at the end of the day, he hangs on.
Some drama for Yoshihara on the final lap. It ended up only being a 3-second margin over Colin Garrett. Let's see what happened to Yoshihara.
Yeah, this seemed a bit bizarre here coming into turn 12.
Whoa!
Wow. That was wild. He had about a 10-second lead to work with. He ate up most of that. Completely missed his braking point or had a technical issue, one or the other. That was crazy.
Very bizarre, but he's able to survive and take the victory in the TCX class. Colin Garrett, Kenny Schmid, really strong run for Kenny here to get to the podium. Jackson Lee and Adam Gleason completing the top 5 in TCX.
He's trying the Michael Schumacher line there.
Results for the final race of the 2023 campaign. Yoshihara by 3 seconds over Garrett, Schmid, Lee, and Gleason fitting TC. The win to Celso Neto. This one has been long awaited. Congratulations to the Brazilian. Clay Williams, by finishing 2nd, clinches his first Drivers' Championship in the TC class. Well done. Jeff Rica, driving through a damaged race car, manages to get to 3rd, but not enough to overhaul Williams in the points. Then in TCA, Spencer Bucknam, Devin Anderson. What a battle it was, not just today, but all season long. Bucknam comes out on top in this race and in the points. Will Lambros 3rd, PJ Grunke to 4th, and Xiao Yiche completing the top 5 here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
That was a wild one, start to finish, literally. Well, actually, before the start to finish.
Absolutely. That started on the formation
Yeah.
lap. And that still needs to be reviewed. I don't think that's going to affect championships in any way. There's a peek inside the cockpit.
I was thinking when that car went scooting down the escape route there in turn 12.
I would love to know. That was dramatic. And back to victory lane for LA Honda World, Spencer Bucknam. But this time, not just as a race winner, but as a champion. He had a phenomenal season, drove extremely well. And hopping out of the race car is Dai Yoshihara. Amanda is there to greet him.
Dai, you've spent this season touring the U.S., racing here in TCX. You close it down with a double weekend here at IMS. What will you make of your time here on American soil?
Well, it's been great. I mean, first of all, really great to see you here, because I never get to see you this whole season because I didn't get win until yesterday. But yeah, the car was so fast whole weekend. I can't thank enough to VGRT crew. They made the car fastest on the track, like by far. So it was a great 2 days, and I gotta thank all my sponsors who make this season possible. Yeah, thank you guys.
Congratulations, Dai.
And there's the celebration, long awaited for Celso Neto. Super cool to see him break through. You felt like his time was coming, and today was the day he knocked down the door.
Congrats, that's awesome. He'll be pumped up.
Yeah, phenomenal result. That'll send him into the offseason on a high. But our new champion in TCA is standing by with Amanda.
And it is hugs all around from the team. And Spencer, you're going to go back and watch this race and that battle between you and...
Class of the field, brother. Class of the field. Fucking love you, man. So proud of you. Thank you.
Come on, man.
Good job.
That was Ryan Eversley that got in. Oh, Spencer, look at the emotion. Ryan Marine during the broadcast said that the both of you, what a dream this would be. You're so...
We just won the championship. We just won.
There's Mario.
Team owner.
A dream. How true are these words?
Oh my God, it really is a dream come true. I mean, you can just see the emotion on everyone's face, how much this means to us. I mean, it's a hard-fought battle all season with Devin, and it literally came down to the wire. I mean, we fought tooth and nail and gave it everything. But I couldn't do it without these guys behind me and the whole Honda family. I mean, they are the reason why we are here. Blue Marble Cocktails, Vieser Family Vineyards. I mean, I couldn't do this without them. This means so much to all of us. So, yeah, what a way to end it, especially at Indy. It means so much.
Champion.
Champion. Oh my God. I don't even. Oh, yeah, thank you.
We have another champion to wrap up this season. I do see Clayton Williams over here, so we got to go grab him. I can see the hugs happening around, but the books will say champion next to your name, Clayton Williams. I know it came down to the very end. You knew that Jeff Rico was going to be hot and coming for you this weekend. What led to this victory all season?
Just teamwork. That's all I got to say. I mean, we've had a couple hiccups throughout the whole year, even yesterday with the gearbox failure, and, you know, they worked all night to get it going. And today was our perfect day. You know, we needed this to happen and Rico to fall back in the beginning there, and he did. And the car was flawless all race. I can't give it up to our team enough.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And then I have one more to wrap it up here at Indianapolis, if I can find Celso Neto. Man, you gotta love the smiles and the celebrations here at IMS, and Celso to come back and get this win to finish it up on the season. You get to kiss those bricks over there. How will that moment be for you?
Yeah, just to be interviewed right now, it's been a long time coming, and I'm happy to have the camera here. It's something I'm working very hard with. My team, Skip Barber, everyone did an amazing job. They gave me a rocket ship of a car. So it was a crazy weekend to start with. We got no practice. Straight into quali, put it on P2. Took the lead on lap 1 yesterday. Led the entire race until a lap car took us out. So it was super frustrating. It was a hard hit. Hope she gets well soon, Maddie. But the team worked overnight, got the car ready. You know, did this bumper here, which is something that not many people can do. The Skip Barber team is amazing. And they gave me another car ready to win this morning. So I couldn't ask for more. Thank you to the team for everything. Thank you to my sponsors, AMED, SuperMed, OS Cotton, Skip Barber Racing School, everyone that made this year possible. I'm super happy to get my first win of the series. And hopefully next year we go on to bigger and better things or keep getting wins. So thank you everyone again for the support. Thank you to my fans, everyone that's cheering from Brazil. I'm so happy to be here right now and win at a special place.
And a top step on the podium at Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Thank you.
Well done, Celso Neto. Congratulations. That win was a long time coming. Well, let's look at our points tables here. Talking about championships, TC Clay Williams gets it done. 9 points over Jeff Rica. It was nip and tuck though, Cal, with swings in momentum all season long.
Yeah, it was. Very dramatic moments at the start of this race. Really changed the course, I feel.
Celso Neto with the win ultimately ends up third in points. That's a big result for him. Tough for Christian Pericarpi at DNF here at his home track. Doesn't get a chance to score points here today. In TCA, it was very, very close. Spencer Bucknam, Devin Anderson down to the wire. Yeah, it's 13 points, but it was one position on the racetrack.
Exactly. It looks comfortable, but it's anything but, and Spencer hangs on. Valiant effort by Devin Anderson. Great drive today.
That is a battle they will be talking about for many years to come, as will we. Will Lambros, great finish to the season for him. The win yesterday by 1/1000th of a second might be one of the closest, if not the closest finish this track has ever seen. And he ends up third in the standings. Highlights from the season finale here at IMS. Tai Yoshihara led the field to green. This was the drama, though, early on in the TC field. The pole sitter Christian Pericarpi has a tire go down right in front of championship contenders, Clay Williams and Jeff Rica. Jeff Rica, though, gets the worst of it.
He does, and Clay Williams just goes through unscathed, and then Rica was on the rebound, tried to cut his way through the field, which he did, but this was just fantastic racing in the battle for the TCA lead and ultimately a championship decider.
Spencer Bucknam withstood that furious attack from Devin Anderson. Anderson made a couple more attempts using the bumper when necessary and when appropriate. This was his final last gasp attempt to take the lead away. Ultimately couldn't get it done, and Bucknam would go on for the win and the championship. Dai Yoshiara had this scary moment on the final lap. He was able to recover, went around to complete a season sweep here at IMS. That's it for us this season. Thanks for tuning in.